Order up!
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Order Up Podcast. I'm Terran Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is a very special episode of the podcast because this is going to be number 40. Well, it's not really a special episode, but it's going to be the 40th episode of the Order Up Podcast. So thank you so much to everyone that's checked out the episodes, clicked on it, listened, shared, all that good stuff. So for this episode of the podcast, I'm going to be talking about E3, which if you don't know, E3 is like the biggest game convention of the year for video games and things like that. And actually, they're going to be doing an online version of E3 this year, which I'm super excited for. I'm super dope for it. And I'll kind of explain my reasons in a second. But before we get to why I'm so excited about it, let's go back. So E3, which actually stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo, actually started on May 11th, 1995. So it's been going on for 25 years, which is insane to think about it. And so a lot of video game companies, there wasn't really a video game convention. There would just be like, consumer expos here and there. CES was the Consumer Electronics Show, which has been going on for a while. A lot of video game companies will show up there. There's like different consumer expo shows in Europe. There's the Tokyo Game Show, which is, of course, Tokyo's biggest one. There wasn't really one in the States for video games. E3's happened and it's like a big party. It's pretty much the New York Comic Con for video games. And so it's like a big event. All the biggest developers like Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, they all come out and show out new games, new consoles. Usually you bring your biggest and your baddest shit to E3. Like you gotta show out. And so because of the coronavirus and the pandemic last year in 2020, there wasn't an E3. There was no type of E3. So everyone kind of did their own little things. Like Nintendo has always been doing Nintendo Directs, which is kind of their online based press conference type thing where they show new games and things like that. So they kind of did that. Microsoft had like a little thing. Sony did their own little online thing to show off some games and stuff like that for the PS5. But there was no E3. So they just announced, I think today actually, that E3 is going to be online from June 11th to June 13th, I believe. It's going to be, from June 12th to June 15th. So it's going to be 5 total days, I believe. 12, 13, 14, 15, 4 days. So it's going to be 4 days in total for E3. It's going to be online and interactive worldwide, which is very, very dope. I'm very, very excited about it because I've always wanted to go to E3. It's one of my goals. A couple of goals I need to do, like I want to go to Tokyo, I need to go to Amsterdam, Hawaii, Tahiti, gotta go to Canada, but I need to go to New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, and I gotta go to E3. So with E3 being online, it gives me a chance to maybe possibly actually experience a little bit of E3 from the comfort of my own home. It's not the same as walking the show floor and things like that, but it's the closest thing I can get right now, and I'm super excited about it. So I did sign up for the newsletter for that, and I'm really excited to hopefully maybe get a chance to experience a little bit of E3. And I've heard like stories, like a lot of journalists and stuff like that do it. It's tiring. It's a lot of people, can be like long waits and things like that. If you don't have like connections, because I think fan badges, you don't get a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You just gotta wait in these long lines, especially for like the hottest games. Like if you want to play like, I don't know, like a Street Fighter 6 was there or something, they'd probably be a long dumbass, Walmart Black Friday type of line, or a Six Flags type of line to play these games. And you're in line longer than you are playing the game because you only get like maybe 15 to 20 minutes maybe to play a game, depending on like your status and who you are and things like that. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I'm really excited to maybe possibly experience E3 because E3 is always cool. Like E3 week to me is always it's a lot of fun. Like you have press conferences the first few days, and then the last few days all gameplay and trailer, or actually not even trailers. It's all like gameplay and hands-on stuff, and IGN and Game Informer and other like YouTube centric channels will like post all their gameplays and their first-hand experiences and what they like, what they didn't like. And I think this might be a little bit different because again, I get to do it from the comfort of my own home. Hopefully, I can get a ticket. Like hopefully, I can get a fan pass and I can like just look at some stuff. I'm very curious about it because there's someone who's always want to go to E3. And it's really hard to get to E3, I think, because you have to either be in the business, have connections, or just have to be like popular enough on YouTube where you can kind of secure a badge for yourself. So again, I signed up for the newsletter. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, they show me like I hope tickets aren't crazy. It shouldn't be because it is online, so tickets shouldn't be like insane. But I do want to do it. I'll probably just be at home chilling, eating Cheerios, enjoying E3 from an online experience. So yeah, I really wanted to talk about that and just what this, because I think this will actually give a lot of gamers a chance to experience E3. I guess quote unquote firsthand in the way, because again, since usually you just kind of watch E3, like IGN does like an E3 stream, or Game Informer does an E3 stream, or your favorite Twitch streamer or favorite YouTuber, they'll do kind of E3 type streams, and you just kind of watch it. Like again, like when G4 was around, because G4 TV is coming back, but when G4 was around, they used to have like all 4 days covered of E3, and they used to have like all the press conferences and all the events and all the reactions, and since they're watching it firsthand, like the fans, you get to see their firsthand experiences too, and their firsthand reactions as well. So it's very exciting. I'm really excited about online E3. Like I just kind of just it'd be fun. I can kind of check it off my bucket list. I still want to go to E3, like physically, personally, is to actually go to E3, actually go to California, have a hotel, and go to the forum in California where it usually is. But I'll take an online experience as well. Again, 2021 is things are slowly opening up. The world is kind of sort of getting normal, maybe. But experiencing E3 from just as a fan who's been playing video games since I was like 7 or 8. I've been playing games for a long time. So, this is like one of those things I really, really enjoyed. And again, I can do it from home. So if it's not super great, I'm still at home, so it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully you can get like some E3 swag and stuff like that too, because y'all know I like a good shirt. But thank you so much for listening to this brand new episode of the Aura Podcast. I greatly appreciate it. We're almost at 50 episodes of the podcast. It's really exciting. But again, this will be episode 40. But again, you can find me on all social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, that's everything. And you can go to the website, SlicingDicingGaming.com, to find links to everything, links to the Twitch page, links to the YouTube channel, of course, links to the podcast, which you are currently listening to. The podcast can be found a bunch of places: Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, I believe Breaker, I think Republic Radio, some other ones too. It's a lot. There's a few different podcasts. Type in Order Up Podcast. Don't look up Order Up. That's not my podcast. My podcast is Order Up Podcast. If you see the little nice symbol, you know it's mine. Always and forever, slicing, dicing, gaming. It's not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. I'll see you next podcast. Later.